Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate seeking for its approval to institutionalize and give legal backing to the Social Investment Program in Nigeria, the NSIP. The president, in separate letters to the legislative arm, also sought for creation of 10 new national parks across the country. According to the letters read on the floor by the Senate President, Buhari explained that the passage will provide the enabling law for effective implementation of the NSIP, which is geared towards poverty alleviation of vulnerable Nigerians.
Social Investment Program Establishment Bill seeks to provide a legal and institutional framework for the establishment of National Social Investment Program for the assistance and empowerment of the poor and vulnerable in Nigeria. While I hope that the request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate, pursuant to Section 18 of the National Park Service Act, I forward here with the National Park Declaration Order 2022 for the kind concurrence of the Senate. The National Park Declaration Order 2022 seeks to establish 10 new national parks. Please find attached the National Park Declaration Order. While I hope that the request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate.
President Buhari also sent in 2 other letters seeking for the passage of the National Library Establishment Bill 2022 and another executive bill on Federal Produce Inspection Service. The proposed law will provide the legal framework for the maintenance of the National Library of Nigeria in line with global practices.
The National Library Establishment Bill 2022 aims to establish and maintain the National Library of Nigeria, strengthen its statutory functions. While I hope that the request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept the single Senate President the assurances of my highest consideration. The Federal Produce Inspection Service Bill seeks to provide for the inspection and enforcement of grades and quality standards of produce and commodities intended for import into or export from Nigeria at ports of shipment and for related matters. While I hope that the request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate.
President Buhari says the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine contributes to the proliferation of arms in Africa. Buhari said this on Tuesday, November 29, 2022, at the 16th Summit of the Heads of State and Government of the Lake Chad Basin Commission, the LCBC, in Abuja. The president, while speaking on insecurity in Africa, said weapons from the Russia-Ukraine war are slipping into the Lake Chad Basin region. Buhari therefore called for collaborative actions among security and border control agencies of the affected African countries to prevent the circulation of illegal weapons in their nations. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has sentenced the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba, to 3-month imprisonment. The IGP was sentenced over his alleged refusal to obey a sister court judgment reinstating a police officer, Patrick Okoli, who was compulsorily retired back to work. Justice Bolaji Olajuwon, in yesterday's ruling on the contempt proceedings filed by Okoli's lawyer, Arinze Egbo, also warned Akali Baba against non-compliance with the earlier court judgment. In reaction, the IGP has directed the Commissioner of Police in charge of the Force Legal Unit to investigate the allegation in a bid to ascertain the position of the court and prefer informed legal advice for the IGP's prompt and necessary action. This was made known in a statement signed by the Force PRO, Olumiwa Dejobi, hours after the court pronouncement. Ex-Niger Delta militants yesterday stormed the National Assembly to demand the reinstatement of about 6,000 beneficiaries whom were purportedly delisted from presidential amnesty program and payment of outstanding monthly allowances. Addressing newsmen at the National Assembly gauge, the protesting ex-militants also called for the immediate sack of the coordinator of the amnesty program, Major General Barry Tariye Indiomo, accusing him of being incompetent.
The man is incompetent. He would have found out, know the reason why this program was set up and designed. But he does not even care. He doesn't even have time to even ask questions before he delisted 6,000 50,000 delegates, which is not right. So we want him sacked right now and restore all the delisted beneficiaries and get them paid. Yes, we have reached out to federal government in different platforms. We have made publications. We have made a press conference in different areas. In Bayelsa, in Rivers State, even in Delta, up to no avail. So if we are living here, we are going to the office. We are going to lock that office until all our demands are be given.
Want the National House of Assembly to call him to order. If his capacity cannot carry that office, he should be sacked immediately.
The protesters, however, urged President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Assembly to call the interim administrator of the Amnesty program to order and reinstate those affected.
We have no issue with the federal government because they grant us amnesty and all our benefits that has been stated when this program was being signed has not been given to us. We have the federal government agreed to build house for us in any part of the country. It has not been done. That is why they are paying 150,000 as allowance. It has not been given to us. There are so many things that we are supposed to entitle to, which they are shacking on their own. So we call on the Mr. President to call the interim administrator to restate back the 6,554 people that he has delisted from the program. He should restate them and pay them immediately. And if they did not pay us, we are not leaving Abuja.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, says it has no plan to introduce 5,000 naira denominated banknote as being speculated by some sections of the society. Ahmed Umar, the Director Currency Operations of CBN, clarified this at a 3-day workshop organized by the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, the NDIC, for members of the Financial Correspondents Association of Nigeria and business editors. Umar said the Apex Bank was not carrying out note restructuring, and if the Apex Bank wanted to, it would need to coin the lower bills like the 100 naira note, for example. He also said that the Apex Bank had not made any provision for exchange in the redesigned note, adding that what it was printing would only replace the currencies withdrawn. The Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, the NNPC, has blamed the fuel queues in Lagos State and Abuja on some construction projects going on in the state. NNPC's Executive Vice President Downstream, Adeyemi Adetunji, who gave this explanation while addressing a news conference in Abuja on Tuesday, however, added that the gridlock is easing out and NNPC has programmed vessels and trucks to unconstrained depots, and massive loadouts from depots to various states are closely being monitored. But he assured Nigerians that efforts are ongoing to ensure that normalcy returns as soon as possible, as the NNPC has a national PMS stock of over 2 billion litres, which is equivalent to over 30 days of sufficiency. The All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, the APC-PCC, has debunked rumours that its presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, plans to relocate Nigeria's federal capital from Abuja to Lagos. In a statement issued yesterday by the Director of Media and Publicity, Bayo Ononuga, the Tinubu Campaign Council accused the opposition of launching a multi-pronged desperate campaign of falsehoods against its presidential candidate. The APC called out the opposition PDP while describing the Labour Party as its surrogate, insisting that the desperate campaigns are coming after exhausting their arsenal of calumnies and character assassination against Tinubu. The party has also unveiled a crowdfunding app to mobilize 5 billion naira for its presidential and vice presidential candidates in the 2023 elections. In a keynote address at the event in Lagos, Senator Kashim Shettima said the initiative was aimed at leveraging the diversity in crowdfunding to engender loyalty in the party.
A platform like this grants ownership of a political movement to the people. By contributing their hard-earned resources, they become co-drivers who make it their business to promote the ideals of the movement.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in his remark, described the crowdfunding app as a unifier, innovative and unique platform.
We all can indeed put our money where our mouth is and be part of a project that we're all committed in. But I just want to appeal to all of us that this should be our own individual commitment to show that we are believing in this project.
The Lagos State government has announced travel advisory for the upcoming campaign walk tagged Ring Out the Vote by the Lagos All Progressives Congress presidential and gubernatorial campaign team. scheduled to hold today, Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, from Trade Fair to Iyanoiba along Lagos-Badagry Expressway from 7 a.m. The State Commissioner for Transportation, Dr. Frederick Oladende, advised Lagosians to plan their movement around the corridor and be cautious as travel time may drag more than expected. In line with this development, the Transport Commissioner advised motorists using Lagos-Badagry Expressway to connect Iyanoiba from Abule-Ado through the main carriageway and continue on the service lane from Lasu Gate for their desired destinations, while assuring that the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, will help with seamless traffic control and management before, during, and after the exercise. You're still listening to the World News. On the foreign scene, Malawi has begun a large-scale infant vaccination campaign against malaria, which is the world's first ever campaign of its kind, according to the World Health Organization WHO country representative, Dr. Nima Kimambo. The health authorities are using the only vaccine against the disease to be recommended by the WHO. The RTSS vaccine, as it's known, has been through rounds of testing in Malawi, Ghana, and Kenya over the past few years. In the most recent phase of testing since 2019, the WHO has supported the vaccination of 360,000 children per year across the three countries. Early trials showed that more than 30% of the 5 to 17-month-olds who received it were protected. And out to business news, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the groundbreaking ceremony of the Badagry Deep Sea Port will be done before the end of this year. Sanwo-Olu disclosed this yesterday at the second edition of the RT200 Biannual Summit organized by the Central Bank of Nigeria in Lagos. The event highlights the gains made in the RT200 foreign exchange program of the CBN, which targets $200 billion repatriation from non-oil exports over the next 3 to 5 years. The program promises a rebate of 65 naira for every dollar repatriated from non-oil export proceeds sold to the investors and exporters foreign exchange window. And out of sport news, Senegal has qualified for the second round of the FIFA World Cup for the second time in their history after defeating Ecuador 2-1. The win ensured the African champions came second in the group to face England, who had qualified as group winners after seeing off Wales 3-0. Senegal trailed the Netherlands, who finished as group winners after defeating host Qatar 2-0, and will face the United States, who beat Iran 1-0 to set up the last 16 tie. Today's last group matches in Group C and D sees Poland play Argentina, Saudi Arabia against Mexico, Australia versus Denmark, and Tunisia against France. Adidas technology inside the match ball at the ongoing FIFA World Cup has confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo did not score Portugal's opener in their 2-0 win over Uruguay yesterday. Ronaldo claimed he had got the faintest of touches with his head on Bruno Fernandes's cross to give Portugal the lead as he celebrated jubilantly, but FIFA later awarded the goal to Fernandes. Adidas have now proven the 37-year-old never touched Fernandes's cross thanks to its sensor inside the ball. Adidas findings have denied Ronaldo a 9th World Cup goal, which would have brought him level with Eusebio for Portugal.
Lagos Talks
91.3.